Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's start right now. Let's start. What's up, Pi Gamers? And yeah, we've been doing great so far. We've learned a lot of things in the past 5 days, and we are on our first project, like like kind of halfway there, and we'll be completing it till like the next 2 or 3 sessions. I don't know, but that's gonna be exciting. So make sure you stay like tuned for all of the live streams. Now, let us just quickly discuss what we have done all the 5 days, starting with something like we understood the main game loop, we got the shapes in their places, we got the text, we got the music, and we got like mainly everything you need to see on the screen and for the user interaction. But there's one thing left for us to do today, that is the keyboard. We just forgot the keyboard. Like we just discussed everything that the user can see, but we just didn't discuss what um, the user has in front of him. He maybe has a laptop or a computer or like some machine or even a mobile phone. We don't know. And in most of the cases, the user has a laptop in front of him, and he has a keyboard, right, and a mouse. So today we're gonna be learning about keyboard and mouses, inputs, and all the keys, how to handle all the keys, the mouse, the left and right clicks, and we're gonna continue our project in some of the places that I think we can go ahead. And in the next day, that is the next session, we'll be learning about the random module. Random seems exciting, right? Okay, so keyboard. I just found these pictures a little bit interesting, so I just put them on. And yeah, the only thing I wanted to tell you was keyboard is very important. And here is the main view of the keyboard. Like what all keys are on the keyboard. So the top row, that is the top row, no problem. The top row that you can see has all the F1, F2 escape keys. Now we can't handle the F1 to F10 keys because they are special keys and they are used for other purposes, not gaming. And we can use the escape key for whenever the user wants to exit, right? Because we just type the key for that matter. Then there are numerical keys that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 0. Sorry, not 10. Then we have all the letters that we can handle. We have a space bar, that is the most important thing. And if you'd observe, this is just like 4/5 of the keyboard. There is another numerical pad that the user has, so we can just control that. Now, here is a picture of the keyboard being divided into some parts. Uh, for gaming, mostly direction keys are used, like a left, right, up, and down. So those are the most useful keys for gaming. Yeah, right. And the mouse is also an important thing in this thing. Then the letter keys. Out of the letter keys, there are four keys. WASD, if I'm not wrong. I don't know that, but yeah, those are the keys also used for gaming, and I think they are used for several purposes or also as direction keys. I don't know that, so maybe just forgive me for that. And we have the numerical keys at both the sides, that is the top row and the yeah, we have a numerical pad like away from all of that. Now there are direction keys that are important. There are letter keys that are important, and there is the space bar that is important. Now these are the most important things. So, and iGame supports these things like all the letters, the direction keys, and the space bar. If you gotta go for special keys like the F1 and F2 and the Control, Shift, or all of the keys, then you might have to find another library for the same. Yeah, Python. Okay. So before we go into the code that we're gonna write for the keyboard inputs and mouse inputs, let's understand what really happens when you click a key. What happens when you click a key? So when you don't click, it's at the normal position, like it's not click and no function is going on. It's like a button, right? When you just, yeah, it's like a button. When you, like, not a button, the button on the internet, not the button that we wear, like the shirt button. Okay, I know I joke too bad, but still. Now, when the user clicks down the key or presses the key, what a word for that? Presses down the key. The event that is taking place is named as key down in Pygame. Now, if I press the left key, just like so, the and if I press the right key, just like so, what happens is when I press that particular key, there's a switch under the key. Like this is a laptop, and this is the key. What the user sees, and this is something like a switch. When he or she clicks the particular key, what happens is that switch touches the motherboard or something below your yeah, whatever, below that laptop, or if you're using another keyboard, that is when the switch is touching the, yeah, that thing. What is going on is there a function is being triggered, like there is already code written inside your motherboard and all the parts of your system. So the code must be written in a language like this. If this switch meets this switch, or they both get in touch with each other, then you have to trigger this function if you are on this certain web page. Like for example, right now I am in Microsoft PowerPoint. So uh, there are conditions that are that are being satisfied. So if the user is on a certain slide of the Microsoft PowerPoint and he presses this direction key, then the slide should go back. That's how it really works. And when the user lifts his hand from the particular key, the event that is called as key up. Like right now, I press A, for example. I'm not pressing that. If I press A, then it's called as key down. When I, what if I just press and leave it like that? I can just keep pressing. The event is like just key down, okay? Not hundreds and thousands of times. If I just press that and leave it as it is, like I just press, something like that. Now the only event that is called is something like key down. You are not gonna get hundreds and thousands of key down, key down, key down, key down. No, nothing like that. Okay, I hope you understand, because I don't. Yeah, you understand. Yeah. So what really happens here is that there are just mainly two functions. Let's make it simple: key down and key up. You don't need to understand anything apart from that. Now there's the mouse. Before we go into the mouse, let's code something real quick. Okay, so right now I'm gonna make a new file just for the display of how these things work. Let's give it a new Python file. Let's say prac. Let's practice. Okay, we're gonna import pygame. We're gonna go pygame dot init. Now I'm just gonna copy the code because I don't want to waste your time getting on all those. For example, what is really important here is something like a display. We can just go on, copy this, paste this here. The display is really important because if it's Pygame, there has to be a window, and yeah, we can just copy the main game loop, and we can quite go ahead handle with it. Okay. Now, what should I do, right? So now tell me what is it when you just press a key? What is it? Is it something like a function or an event? So of course it's a event. Okay. For Pygame, for event in Pygame.event.get. Now this is a place where all of the events gets stored as a list. Even this so there's Pygame.quit, that is an event, and key down is an event. So inside this thing, okay. Now please look at the indentation because that's where most of the people face errors. So inside this main game loop and inside this for loop with this if statement, like I can just write parallel if statements. Yeah, multi like many if statements inside a for loop. So if event dot type equals to pygame dot key down, now that is the name. And then there's an important thing that you have to understand. Now inside this event, this if statement right here just declare that if the type of the event, type is the word that I'm trying to focus on, type of the event is key down. Now I've gone inside the key down, like the user has pressed the key. Now how do we know which key has he or she pressed? So here is where we use event dot key. So if we can just write another if event dot key equals to pygame dot. Now inside of this thing, you have a format in which you write. So the format is capital K underscore the name of the key 1 2 3 4 5 6 left down up right and also space or something. So there is confusion between the reduction keys. Left means arrow, the arrow is facing left. Right means the arrow is facing right. Up and down are easy to understand. So don't mess up with left and right, okay? So right now I'm just gonna go left and right. Now just to make sure that you understand what is happening, I'll just print that left key, no, yeah, like left direction key is pressed. Okay, so I'm gonna run that. Okay, so here we have a window. If we don't have this window, there is no point of using pygame, right? So that is why. So if I just press the left key, it just prints out left direction key is pressed. Oh, and then I use pressed or something. Good English. Pressed. Now it's good. Okay. So if I just click this left direction key, 3 2 1, here we go, we got a print statement. Another. Okay, so that's how it basically works. So if you just try it, you'll be so happy, right? Because you're getting output out of that thing. Now let's make a simple thing so that we can just go on. Here we go. Let's say left or right. Okay. We can say right direction. Right direction key is pressed. And now let's run this. You can just play with that thing because I just like it. So if I press left, it's left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So that's how it basically works. Okay. So the only thing you have to understand is inside the event list, there are many types of events that have occurred. Now, key down is one of the events. Now, after you go inside the key down, there are the keys. Which key is being pressed? That is how you capture the movements of the keys. Now, this was a simple kind of activity based on this thing. You can just go ahead and try this thing so that, yeah. Now we have done direction keys. Let's try a letter key. Okay. So if even the key, I'm not writing it correct, equals to pygame dot k, make sure it's capital, and you can just give any letter out of that. So maybe I'll give M. So k underscore m print, not a long thing, but m. Okay, I'll just keep it m. Now, after I make it aside, if I press the m key, there is a error. Why is this error occurring? Can you just tell me? Where is that cursor of mine? Okay, so before we go deeper into that, let me just try the space key. So you know what's working, what's not working. Space. I'll just tell you the reason in a little bit of time. Okay, where is that window? Okay, space. Okay, so why is it working just with space? Just tell me. Okay, yeah. So there's a simple error made here. Let me just try this. M. I just gave a capital M instead of a M. Oh, I didn't turn it into a space thing, right? The space to M. Okay. So M. So make sure you know this thing. The direction keys and the space key all are in capital. K is capital always. So make sure K underscore. The space keys left, right, up or down. Those things are in capital, and all the letters are in small. Make sure they're in small. Maybe let's try another one. R. Okay, R isn't small. Now, if you try number keys, you can make any capital or small things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and anything like that. So let me just try all of the four keys. A left key is a direction key. Is a direction key. So I'm just gonna go with direction. What is this? Space. Space key is capital. Sure you know that. Space. And K underscore R. We type it R and we can say letter key. And the last thing that is left is number key. Okay. So if pygame dot key equals to pygame dot, oh sorry, not pygame. Yeah, pygame. Let's mess up sometimes. Maybe let's try 2. Okay. And print just forgot to give double quotes number. Now, every time you press any key, you can just get something like, if I press 2, oh, why isn't it working? Did I misspell anything? Pygame.k underscore 2, print number. Okay, let it run again. 2, 2. Left. Okay, left is working. Space is working. Which letter did we give? Here, R. Okay, so R is working. Why isn't this thing working? Maybe I made a error. Pygame.key equals to pygame.k underscore 2. Print it. Let's say pygame.k underscore 2. Now maybe it will work. Hopefully, yeah. There's something wrong with my keyboard or something. Or is it like, Now, let me just put it at the top. Control, pygame, k2. Okay, just a second. Well, I'll figure it out. Uh, Make sure pygame.key equals pygame.key underscore 2. Is there any colon or something? The syntax is totally correct. Maybe I didn't remember. Okay, leave that for now. I'll just check it in some time and get back to you. But make sure you know these three things, like the direction keys, the space keys, and the pygame letter keys. So make sure they're. Let me just try the number key of, instead of 2, let's make it 1 or something. Let's try that. Pygame dot k underscore. Oops, sorry. K underscore Let's try 4 here. Just print 4. Okay. Let's say if we're trying this audio, let's say 4. Okay, yeah. So 4 is working right here. So there might be some problem with my keyboard of the key 2. So I'll resolve that as fast as possible because I don't know why it was not happening because my code was strictly correct. Let's try 5 so make sure that my 2 has a problem. Okay, so if I type 5, there is a 4 coming because I didn't change the print statement. There is something wrong with my keyboard right here. So I'll just do that in some time. Okay, and I hope you understand. Okay, so the code was all right, k underscore 2, but my keyboard was not working, seems like. So make sure you know all of these. Direction keys in capital, space key in capital, letter keys in small, and the number keys are as it is. Now let's move forward because we have to write the code for the project also. So mouse, just a good mouse out there. And tuple. Okay, before we understand mouse, we have to understand tuples. Tuples, maybe you've understood, it's a data type in Python. If you've heard of lists and sets, dictionaries, you must have heard of tuples also. Now, I'm just gonna make it so simple, real quick, because we're running out of time, right? Okay. So what is happening right here is there are two brackets, just like open bracket and close bracket, and there are values that can be numbers, they can be strings, they can be functions, and they can also be boolean values, that is true and false. And you don't need to worry about all of t0, t1, and t2. That's just for the image. And right now, if you've learned about coordinates in Pygame, x and y coordinates, we understood that maybe last to last session. And there is a x coordinate, there is a y coordinate, and basically how this will how this will be helpful is that whenever you make a button that we're gonna make in the next project, next to next project, that is the final project, the shooting game. We're gonna no the next project. Sorry, maths. Not maths, but let's say quiz. There's a quiz project, a project that's gonna be in the next session or the next project, not the session. Come on, fast. Okay. So there is a button. So what is the basic fundamental thing is that if the mouse is the cursor is inside that button's coordinates, then there are 4 points of a button, that is x, top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. And those 4 coordinates have certain value, that is x equals to something, y equals to something, and there's a width and there's a height. So if our mouse cursor is inside all those 4 coordinates, that means our mouse is on the button. And if we have a click on the button, we should have a particular function working. So that's how Pygame works. So that is why mouses are important, right? Now this is the base. There's just 2 lines of code to get that thing. So let me just go ahead and remove all of this code. Okay, yeah. So I just go out of the for loop like so. Okay, now there's just 2 lines of code that you need to remember. First, I'll declare a variable mouse, and let's say, can you just see this code right here? This is the code that we're gonna use. So pygame.mouse. So as pygame.mixer, that is used for music, pygame.draw, that is used for shapes, and pygame.font, that is used for text. In the same way, pygame.mouse, it's used for mouse functions. So get underscore position. This is the function. Now position is POS in small abbreviations. So pygame.mouse.get POS position, we can say position, and let's print the position of the mouse so we can understand what is really happening. Okay, so right now, as you can see, this thing is being flooded. So here we go. Inside the game window, this thing is getting mad. I don't know why. Every second, it's just printing the position of our mouse inside the game window. So if you just change this, just like so, the value keeps increasing, or yeah, like the x and y values are increasing. So right now the x value is increasing, and right now the y value is increasing, and at the end is the high, like we defined it as 900, 900. So that is what is happening, and at the top there is 00, and any point of time, you can see the results, right? It's so amazing to see this. Okay, so that's how basically these things work. Okay, so just want to make sure that this works. Right now, if I just don't move my cursor, the same values will be printed. If I move my cursor, the values will change. Now, what these values are inside a tuple that I just made you understand a bit ago. Tuple inside brackets and inside some values. So that's how a tuple works. And yeah, if I just exit this thing, it gets exited. Okay, so go ahead, experiment with that thing. Let me drink some water. Okay, so okay, so we're just gonna work with continuing our game. The PPT was good, right? I hope it was good. Now coming back to our project. So till now we've completed it till like we've defined the ball class that are the small balls working, and we've defined the big ball class. Now, inside, what is this big ball is the user, that is the black ball that he or she is gonna use. So basically, I'll just use this function as we did in the ball class. We said draw ball, and here we're just gonna say draw, because what this means is we're gonna draw this ball on the screen, so it's visible, right? Sorry, really sharp. It has to be visible. Okay, so pygame dot draw. We learned about circles. Draw dot circle. Now I can just give the values, that is screen. The color is gonna be black. Sorry. For me, it's gonna be black. For you, it can be any color. You're free to use any color. Now you have to give some values. Integer. This is the function used to convert anything into uh, integer values. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then also take 0. And we can take negative numbers into that thing. Cell integer of cell.st x, and comma after this, and get another integer. Don't worry, I'll show you the code in just a second. Cell.sty, and after that we're gonna give the radius, that is cell.linear radius. We defined it as like that. So yeah, so basically what's happening is this ball will be visible on the screen when we call this function. Okay, so screen black. Now inside brackets we have given two values, that is the x and y, and the radius that we want. Now we have defined all of these variables down here, up here, when we just started defining the class. So make sure you are with us. So now the only thing we learned was keyboard and mouse. So let's apply that thing, okay? Learn for applying. Okay, so what I'm gonna call this function is check, so that it checks every time the keyboard inputs if the user is just pressing any key. I'll just write the code real quick. For it's not necessary to give event in all of these, but you can just give e. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, but for some reasons, I'm just not reasons, but still I'm giving, because it will cause the code to give errors if you change the values right here. Pygame.event.get, and write the same code. Now if event.type equals to pygame dot key down. Okay, pygame dot key down. Then if event dot key equals to pygame dot k underscore left. Once we're done with, we'll just copy and paste all of that stuff. Okay. Okay, up. Before left, I'm gonna make sure up and down keys are completely done. Okay. So what we can do here is basically there is just x and y coordinate that is the base fundamental of every game. So this code will be useful for the moving of the ball. If the user presses the left key, the up key, down key, or the right key, what is happening is the particular ball is moving around the window. So for that, we need to change the x and y coordinates so that it is visible at every single point after its x and y coordinates change. So self.st y underscore change equals to not equals to just -2. So this is the speed that we're going to give, that is -2. If we give a speed greater than this, then the ball will move fast. If we give a speed lesser than -2, the ball will move very, very slow. So it's dependent on you. I just chose the average speed, and that is what matters. Okay. So we're just gonna copy this 4 times. 1, 2, 3. We just copy this 3 more times. Instead of up, we're gonna change it to down. Now, just see, if it's up, the y coordinates are decreasing. If it's down, the y coordinates should increase. So instead of -2, I'll write 2. Now, next is the left and right. Now, and right are useful so that you can just move around the horizontal axis, that is the x-axis. So instead of y change, we have x change, and what these values are, x and y change, we've defined them up right here. Yeah. So at every key movement, it is being stored inside this function, and if it's right, then we're gonna change the speed to 2. Okay, so basically that is how it works. Now this was the function basically for uh, movements that we're gonna capture the keyboard movements. Now after this x and y change values have been stored in that particular variable, what we need is we need to change the main stx and y values that are controlling the actual thing on the screen. So basically, we need to update the stx and the sty values with the x change and the y change values, so that we uh, can basically, the ball has to be visible, right? So that is why you just add these x and y change values to the stx and y values that are the main values that control how your ball is being looked at the screen. So basically, you have to add these values each and every millisecond so that the user can see the output. So if he's typing this particular key, you can see the ball moving in that particular direction. And that's how coding works. Now, if you've not understood at this thing at one go, make sure you look at the video maybe 2 to 3 times so you understand what is going on. Without understanding, if just copying my code, there is no, like, you can just say f check change, check change. This function will check the change at each and every millisecond, nanosecond, or every second that the ball is moving. So there are just 2 things we need to make sure that are happening here. stx plus equals to st self dot st exchange, and we can do that the same thing with the y things. So maybe I'll just copy this thing, copy it, and paste it. Instead of x, we can just write y, and x change, we can just write y change. So this is basically what is gonna happen in this particular function. So it's just gonna keep tracking the values of the x and y coordinate of the center of your ball, so that when the center change, your ball keeps moving. So that's basically what is happening. Okay. Now, here, um, in the ball function, what we gave two functions were the x and y coordinates. So these are the function that declare the x and y coordinates, like they return the x and y coordinates of the object that is the ball, that particular ball. And we can do the same here. Instead of self dot ball x, we can give self dot uh, st underscore x. Now I'll just explain where we're doing this in just a second. Okay, let me just move these things up. Okay, make sure your code is clean always so that you understand what's happening. Okay, so why we're writing this code that returns the x and y coordinate of a ball at every millisecond or every second is to detect collision. Collision between two things, that is the user's ball that we just coded, that is the big ball. We define it as big ball. The name of the class is big ball, and all the balls that the user is going to capture are the balls. So the user's ball is going to capture all the small balls out there. So this is the function. So we're gonna talk collision in the upcoming sessions, because that is a little bit confusing. You need the square root and the we imported math module right here and random module right here. So what is the use of these modules, or you're gonna learn in the next session. So make sure, cause in the next session you'll learn the usage of the random module and the math module. Now why would you need the math module? Let me just tell you. Cause to detect the collision, there is a particular formula that you're going to use to detect the collision between these two objects that we're going to discuss in simplicity, so don't get yourself messed up with all of these things right now. So these are the things that we discussed today, and we have some things to go right here. Okay, so make sure that you got to do that. So yeah, so let's continue with the code. Now, we declared some colors over here. Okay, these are the colors that we just declared. So these are basically the colors of the balls that are visible on the screen. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna create lists for each of these colors. So for example, we have 6 colors, right? 6 colors, yeah. So we can just say red underscore balls equals to empty lists. I can just copy this 6 times to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now instead of red, we can just give them green balls. What are the colors? Blue, orange, pink, and gray, right? We defined red, blue, green, pink, gray, black and white were the colors. So we also defined orange color. Let me just check with the orange color. Blue, green, orange, pink. Over the other colors, blue and gray, right? So why are we making empty lists? So if you don't know what lists are, maybe you could just check our Python camp that is also available for you to attend. So what is a list? List is something that has value. Just understand it has some particular values. Have we defined the orange color up there? I want to make sure if we have. No, we haven't. Red, blue, green, pink, gray. Whereas in the code, do we have the? Yeah, we have the orange color. Maybe we just forgot to define them here. Orange equals to These are the values that I just got from the internet. So if you want some other colors, you can just go on to color picker that talked about in the previous sessions. Make sure you watch them. Okay, so these are the three values for orange color. So make sure you got them. Okay, you can just get your own colors out of nowhere. So make sure you do that. Next, these are the lists. Now, what will be inside these lists are inside the while loop. Now, let me just tell you what was gonna happen. So here is the class of the ball that is gonna be seen, that are the small balls, whereas this class is of the user, that is the big ball, that is gonna be controlled by the user. So now these balls, we can just write hundreds of thousands of lines of code so that we can just get 10 balls of the same color, that is 60 balls. You can change the number. You're free to do anything. Okay. So what I'm doing is we have 6 colors and we have 10 balls of each colors. We have to. Now you can just go ahead and be like, I if I want 60 balls, what I will do is I'll write a single line of code for each of the balls, that is red, green, blue, orange, pink, and gray. So that is not at all a good thing to do as a coder. So what we're gonna do is inside this while loop, we're gonna write another loop that is gonna make sure that all the balls are visible. We're gonna discuss that in the next session. So make sure you know all of that things. Okay, so what you have here is okay. So these were the basic things we discussed today. Now I'm just gonna make sure we create an object with all of these things. So what we're gonna do right now is, are we inside this thing? Okay, so now this big ball class has some four things that are used to create this particular class. So let's go ahead and create that big underscore ball. We're gonna need 4 inputs. So that is 100 and 0 0. Now what is 100 are the x and y coordinates that we're gonna start with. So when you just run the game, when you start the game, your user's ball is gonna be visible at the 100 coordinate. You can change that value anytime you want. Now why are we taking this as 100? Because we want some space above 100 to make sure we're gonna write some text about that, collect all the balls or something, and use the arrow keys. We're gonna use the text functions to do that. So right now we have these things. So right now, if I run this program, what is happening is you can't see anything, of course, because we haven't done anything. We've just defined the classes, the functions, the empty things, and we've created an object. To make sure this visible, what we're gonna do is we can just fill the screen with white color. So after we define the screen, so let's say screen dot fill with white. Make sure this works. Maybe I'll have to put that in the main game loop because this thing has a lot to go on. So inside while, oh, I just forgot the thing. That is the Pygame display of update function, right? So make sure you don't forget this as I did, because this will lead you into errors and yeah, things like that. So this is the empty screen right now. Now, what we have done is we've defined all the functions of the user's ball. So for a little bit of excitement, let's see the ball. The function for seeing the ball is draw. Okay, so make sure. Yeah. Okay. Now, big ball. This is not gonna define. We have to put that in a variable called my ball equals to big ball. And what we can do is we can call the function draw on my ball. That is called my ball home dot draw. So this will show us, oh, missing radius inside. What that? What is that? No. Okay, we missed something. We didn't give something as a radius. Okay, so maybe this required five arguments. Okay, so y and initial radius. This is actually on this. Why is it giving me an error? Like by type error, function missing required argument. Okay, so what this function is missing is mm, the initial radius. Missing something. What is happening there? Just wait a second. Now screen underscore black, comma, we just give these inside two arguments. We just say what is this extra bracket for? Huh? I am to draw the circle. One. Just a second. Let me figure out what's happening. One, two, three, and four. No, not four. Four and one, two, three, four. So what the error is about? Let me just see. Oh, this expected. This bit. Okay. Really another. Okay. That was what is. Then why is it getting this radius freaking thing? So let me just see what is gonna happen here. Okay, so we haven't given this thing. We haven't defined this inside this. So make sure we give ini underscore radius. That's how it works. Okay, I just forgot to define this. By me, I. By we, I mean I. So we can give ini radius equals to ini radius initial radius. Hopefully it doesn't give an error now. If it gives, then we have to change something. One required positional argument in a radius. Oh, so that means we have to give something like this. Let me just check the code real quick. Why am I facing this error? Draw self.init radius. Doing that correctly. Now, what does this mean? What does this have to do with anything of this? Let's just write this thing again. Because the brackets are quite confusing. Pygame the draw the circle is on the screen. Black. I really suck at brackets, I think. Brackets. Inside which there's no bracket. What is this? Inside a bracket. Int. Oh, so there wasn't any other thing. Self dot. Okay, so that the brackets. We just messed up the brackets. I mean, I just messed up the brackets. Self dot st underscore x. Now after this, you can just give a comma, and after the comma, we can just give int self dot st underscore y. I just understood why I was giving that freaking that freaking error. I didn't want that error. Anyways, okay, so we're missing a bracket again, and here we go. Self dot init radius. Just from that particular class, we didn't initialize the radius, right? The big ball thing. Okay. Okay. So there was no need of defining this thing because we already have defined it above. I was just trying to troubleshoot all of that thing, but sorry, you don't need to do this. Okay. Now, hopefully, this thing will work. Okay, great. Now let's just there's no error working on this, and my ball dot draw. Good. They don't give the color. Okay, what's the time? Is the time to go? No, we have time all stuff. So let's figure this out. 100, 0. My ball dot draw. Here we're given the black color. Out of that thing, maybe we've just given the thing. Maybe it's taking quite a little bit of time running this thing. Was it invisible, baby? Mm-hmm. Why are we messing up with all of these things? Well, make sure the code is quite correct. Did we do the display updating? Uh-huh, good. And we did my ball equals to big ball out of the loop. Okay, good. Now, well, go equals to true. Okay, well, h equals to true. My ball draw my ball dot check. My game dot display dot update. Yeah, it needs another update cause sometimes it takes time. So my ball dot draw. Our code is correct. We just need a update statement dot update. Good. So as you can see, the freaking ball is visible, but why is this error coming? I know why that is coming. But let's keep something for tomorrow. So okay, so let me just yeah. So till now, all of the code is correct, and that's all we need for today. And hope you understood all the keyboard arguments, the movements, uh, the mouse movements. We're gonna discuss the mouse controls in the clicks, the left click, the right click. In the next session, we're gonna discuss about these two modules. That is very important. We're gonna discuss is about why we created all of these things. And right now, we've just created the user's ball, and this is what we've done today. So we've defined all of the functions. Now the classes functions are over. The only functions that are left are the collision, the change the screen function, and some variables to define. And yeah, we'll be good to go ahead and like tomorrow. So this is the code we have left with today. Make sure you learn about the keyboard mark arguments, the get position movement, and most of my PPT is photos, so you didn't worry about that. But I'll just run through my PPT once. The keys, the direction keys, by press down, mouse, tuples. We learned about tuples. Make sure you revise that, and continue on games. This was the exit. So thank you all of you for watching this quarter coding. So yeah, thank you. Bye, all of you. Have a great day.